In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the surface of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters. And God said, "Let there be a light," and there was light. Before the earth was formed, there were no people, only innumerable angels in heaven, who ministered and served God. Among them was Lucifer, a cherubim, a winged angel, who was the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Ezekiel 28:12, he had an important task in heaven, and many looked up to him. But over time, he began to think that perhaps he could gain something from this honor, maybe he could even become greater than God. Isaiah 14:13. The organizational chart in heaven was God the Almighty, the Supreme Being, Creator, and principal object of faith, sitting on the holy throne. Lucifer, a cherubim, a six-winged angel, second in command. Holy Michael the Archangel, commanding officer of God's army. Lucifer's job was to protect the entry into the Garden of Eden, guarding the tree of life, together with a flaming sword turning in every direction. Guarding holy spaces where God dwells in heaven and on earth. Because Satan was a cherubim angel in heaven, and his duties were to guard the Garden of Eden, he would go up and down from heaven to the Garden of Eden, he went and came as he pleased. The seraphim was also a six-winged angel to guard God's throne. Seraphim means burning ones, they were red in color. God had placed Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and told them not to eat the fruit of the tree in the center of the garden. Satan told Eve that if she eats from the tree, she will be like God, knowing good and evil. Interestingly, this was Satan's own sin, for he had attempted to take God's place. Eve saw that the tree was good for food. Having seen it, she tasted it. This is the lust of the flesh. Likewise, Satan wants us to gratify our desires immediately, whatever they might be: food, sleep, sex, pleasure, possessions, etc. Eve had a choice to make. She could believe God's word or Satan's word. Tragically, she chose to believe Satan, the father of lies, rather than the one who is truth. When God found out that they disobeyed him and sinned, he threw them out of the garden, placed a flaming sword and cherubim to guard the tree of life. As Adam and Eve got wisdom, knowledge and understanding, families populated the earth. Satan traveled up to heaven. "Where have you come from?" the Lord asked Satan. Satan answered the Lord, "I have been patrolling the earth, watching everything that is going on." And then a great wonder appeared in heaven. There was a woman who was clothed with the sun, and the moon was under her feet. She had a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant and cried out with pain because she was about to give birth. Then another wonder appeared in heaven. There was a giant red dragon there. The dragon had 7 heads with a crown on each head. It also had 10 horns. Its tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky and threw them down to the earth. It stood in front of the woman who was ready to give birth to the baby. It wanted to eat the woman's baby as soon as it was born. The woman gave birth to a son, who would rule all the nations with an iron rod. And her child was taken up to God and to his throne. The woman ran away into the desert to a place that God had prepared for her. There she would be taken care of for 1,260 days. Then there was a war in heaven. Michael the archangel and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon and its angels fought back, but they were not strong enough. The dragon and its angels lost their place in heaven. It was thrown down out of heaven. This giant dragon is that old snake, the one called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world into the wrong way. The dragon and its angels were thrown to the earth. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven saying, "Now have come God's victory, power and kingship, and the authority of his Messiah, because the accuser of our brothers, who accuses them day and night before God, has been thrown out." Genesis 6:2 The sons of God saw that the daughters of men were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves, whomever they chose. Genesis 6:4 The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown. Satan instigated this plan hoping to pollute the human seed to stop God's plan to bring forth a Messiah, the seed, promised to come one day and destroy Satan. Revelation 9:14. 4 cast down angels are bound at the great river Euphrates. Jude 1 verses 6-7. 6. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day. 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah, giving themselves over to fornication, and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping thing and birds of the air, for I am sorry that I have made them. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. In the last days, many love themselves, money, and pleasures but do not love God. 2 Timothy 3:1-5. The last days are marked by wars, food shortages, earthquakes, and pestilences. Matthew 24:7, Luke 21:11. During these last days, the good news of the kingdom is being preached worldwide. Matthew 24:14. Revelation 21. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw a holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more, neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away. And he who was seated on the throne said, Behold, I am making all things new. Also he said, Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. And he said to me, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end.